Hi, welcome to the show. We're so glad that you're here. I'm going to be speaking with author Alicia McBride today. And Alicia, she's a creative, clairvoyant empath who loves empowering people to heal themselves. She loves writing books, being a mom to two very energetic boys. She lives in southeastern PA. She enjoys dancing, digital painting, and I love this one, wearing pajamas in public. I like Alicia already. Alicia's got degrees in psychology and interior design and is a certified yoga instructor. Welcome, Alicia. Glad that you're here.
Hi, thanks. I'm glad to be here.
So I have to ask you right off the bat, an empath. I'm 53, and I'm embarrassed to say that this is the first I've ever heard that name. Is it like, what does it mean? And is it kind of along the lines of empathy?
So it takes empathy to the next level. An empath can not only feel for someone, when you're experiencing empathy, you kind of feel for their situation or whatever someone else is going through.
Okay.
But an empath can actually feel what someone else feels inside their body as their own. So if someone is having a physical pain, or someone is having an emotional pain, or is in distress in some way, an empath can feel that inside their body, just like it's theirs. And a lot of people, especially in the very beginning, they don't know that the pain or trauma or, experience that they're having isn't theirs. It actually belongs to someone else.
That is unbelievable. I know I certainly want to dive more into this, but we're talking today because of your book called I Feel Too Much, a guide. I Feel Too Much, a how-to guide for the beginner empath. When you're taking on, it's enough to deal in life with your own pain and your own things that you're dealing with. You're taking on other people's. How does it manifest itself?
That can come about physically, or it could be something emotionally, like stress, anxiety, depression. Those are very common with empaths who you don't know that you're taking on other people's energies, and you don't know that it's not yours, and you don't know how to let it go. So in the book, I talk, in the very beginning, I talk about how to let that go, because it's not yours and you don't have to keep it. And even if it is yours, because a lot of people have their own trauma related to holding trauma from other people. So the beginning of the book talks about how to let that go and how to release that. And the fact that you don't have to keep it. You don't have to take on other people's problems. They are not yours to keep. We also talk a lot in the book about boundaries, and setting boundaries and how to create and keep those boundaries. And it's okay. It's okay to have strong boundaries, and it's okay to tell people no, because I think empaths in general, or sensitive people, they have a really hard time telling people no.
Sure. Because they're sensitive and they want to help,
Yeah.
So are we talking about people that we select, that we choose to have relationships with, that we take on their feelings? Or are you talking about walking into a grocery store and going, I'm getting a bad vibe? I mean, the woman over by the produce, she's going through a lot. Like, to what degree is that?
Both.
Really?
So I think it's easy, again, when you don't know what you're doing, and you don't know you're doing it, it's really easy to take on everybody's energy, not just the people, who are close to you in your life, but you can walk into the grocery store and you feel everything. Like I have a really hard time in like consignment shops and thrift stores, because there's a general overall feeling of the store, which you get everywhere. You get that, whenever you walk into a building, whether it's a house or, a shop or whatever, there's a general feeling, a vibe of the room. So you get that. And then you kind of feel everybody in it. So if there's a lot of people in the store, like a lot of empaths have a hard time with crowds, being in a crowd, being in a lot of people, in a room with a lot of people, that can be hard. So then you have the vibe at the store, then you have everybody's, own individual thing going on. And then everything in the store has its own energy, and you can feel that too. And if it's like a thrift store, a consignment store, those objects have been owned before. You can then feel the energy from the previous owners, and kind of like if you're very sensitive, or if you're an empath, you can pick up an object and you can kind of feel where it's been, and it has its own energy, and you can feel where it's been, and it's kind of crazy.
So, I mean, there's almost no escaping it, because you can choose to not have relationships with people who bring drama to your life.
Yes.
You can kind of choose which stores you go in that may be the less busier hours or whatever.
Yes.
But man, when you're dealing with, pre-owned things, whether it's a car or items or clothes or whatever, you can't. How do you deal with that on a daily basis? How do you, as an empath, how do you do that?
Well, the very first step in the book is to ground and protect. So you ground your energy. I like visualizations. I'm really into like meditation and visualizations. I'm very visual. I see everything. So that works for me. Kind of seeing tree roots or etheric cords come out of your body and down into the earth and wrapping around the earth's core and bringing up energy from the earth, all around your body to protect you. And the roots are to keep you grounded to the earth. So grounding and protecting is the very first step. And it's important, because otherwise you're just bombarded.
I can imagine. Okay, so we're talking to Alicia McBride. She wrote the book, I Feel Too Much, a how-to guide for the beginner empath. And what are some things besides that? That's a great first step to kind of ground, but what are some other practical things that people are going, oh my gosh, I've never known that there was a name for this, and I get it now? What can they do?
Well, you can practice self-care. I think the biggest thing after grounding and protecting and setting your boundaries, you can practice self-care, and that means something different for everybody. Like, I like dancing and wearing pajamas in public. That works for me. But I also enjoy taking quiet time for myself. I like meditating. You don't have to like meditating. You don't have to meditate. You can just sit quietly. I really like staring at the ceiling, when your brain is just going so much.
Completely shut down.
Right, right. So, I lay awake and just kind of stare at the ceiling and let it flow. Have your thoughts and just let them go, let them do their thing, and you kind of zone out a little bit. That works for me. I also like taking trips to the beach. That is a big one for me too.
Self-care, that's so important.
Yeah,
and I know
like that.
We're kind of winding down here, but is this something that's pretty common? Is it more common than we know?
So empaths make up about 1% to 2% of the population. And then if you can expand that, and sensitive people make up about 5% to 7% of the population. So it's not super common, but I think maybe the numbers are skewed because people don't know that they are an empath.
Right.
You have no idea until you read something like this.
Yes.
Or, an article online. You don't know.
Alicia, what is it that's the lasting message you want people to know about your book, I Feel Too Much, a how-to guide for the beginner empath?
I want you to know that you can do it. Whatever it is that you're going through, you can let it go, and you can move on, and you can rebuild, and you are supported. There's a whole community of people here who are here for you and can support you.
And real quick, where's your book available?
My book is available online at Amazon and Barnes & Noble and Books A Million. And then it's here, a couple local bookstores, Celestial Portal in Downingtown, Healing Spirit Cafe in Elverson, and at Sylvia Barnhill Designs in South Carolina, Mount Pleasant.
Alicia, thank you for your time. Have a great day.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.